Hey, what's poppin', everybody? Let's go ahead and recap yesterday. Our hot streak of NBA sweeps finally comes to an end yesterday. Thanks to a low-scoring affair between the 76ers and the Bucks. Incredibly low scoring. Projected total at the beginning of that game was like 220-something, and I think they were well under 100 or 200 points. So never really got the chance for Giannis. Got a lot of rebounds, nearly had a triple-double, but just didn't really score points. I think he only had 21 points. So that really pulled back the reins on Giannis yesterday to get his PRA. So we didn't hit on Giannis yesterday. Joel Embiid was our lone hit yesterday at over 11.5 rebounds. He had 9 boards at the half and only got 2 in the second half, or excuse me, 3 in the second half, and he scored 0 points in the second half too. So rough night all around there for that Bucks 76ers game. And then we ended up swapping Kawhi Leonard with Paul George. Last year, if you guys remember, we kind of banned using the Clippers on any picks at all because they're so deep that you don't know who's going to have good games in that team. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. I think the leading scorer for them yesterday for the Clippers was 15 points. And I don't even remember who it was by, but I think they had like 6 or 7 guys in double figures and they scored over 100 points. So that kind of tells the story of the Clippers. You know, they're so deep. So many guys are looking to get buckets on that team. They could score 100 points without somebody individually scoring 20 points. That shows incredible depth. Because the Lakers alone had 3 people over 20 points and they only scored 90. So that kind of shows the incredible depth that the Clippers have. So probably going to stay away from the Clippers for the remainder of the year. But if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I don't know what you're doing. Follow me on Instagram. I'll throw it up here because I did throw up my NFL Thursday night slip and it cashed for us yesterday. So that's actually 3 straight nights that we've cashed our. We had NBA, and then NFL yesterday. 3 slips hitting last 3 days. So we have stayed hot even with that NBA slip missing. We hit our NFL slips. So make sure you guys follow me on Instagram because I will always throw up extra slips or if I don't make an NFL video, I'll throw them up on Instagram for sure. So make sure you guys follow me there. Let's get into today. I actually won't have a 5 slip for today. I know there's a whole bunch of games today, but there's just 3 picks that I'm absolutely loving. And again, I'm not going to force 5. So let's get into it today. Real quick, if you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, in the link down in the description below, I have a link that takes you straight to the App Store where you can download Underdog Fantasy because you're going to want to hop in on the action this year. They have added a whole bunch of new features to Underdog Fantasy this year, starting with the brand new insurance feature, okay? This insurance feature is a new thing that has been super requested for the fans and the customers of Underdog Fantasy. Essentially, all you do is you click insurance right here. And if you can see right there, all you have to do is hit 4 of these picks to win, but the value does drop down. So if you turn off the insurance, you do a $10 bet, you obviously get $200. And if you turn on the insurance feature, it drops down a multiplier down to 10. But if you miss one of these picks, say, Jameis Winston gets hurt or something, he doesn't end up throwing 2 touchdown passes. But everybody else hits, like Lamar, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, and Justin Jefferson. All these guys hit. You still hit the slip. You just get it for $100. It just goes down a multiplier, which is a huge feature a lot of people have been asking for, so they received it. Also, they have added second half lines now to games. Obviously, it is on. There is nothing up because there's no NFL second half games, but they have added NFL second half. So just like for the Thursday night game, I'll throw up that clip right here. Thursday night, they dropped all the second half lines for that Thursday night game between the Bills and the Rams. They've added a bunch of new features this year. They're trying to improve to get the app better for you guys. Also, when you sign up, if you use code TAKEMYSHOT, you'll get $100 match, up to $100 match and 100% deposit match on your first time deposit. So if you do that, you can deposit $50 to get an extra $50, $20 to get an extra $20. Whole lot of stuff coming with Underdog Fantasy this year. Make sure you sign up with code TAKEMYSHOT. Now let's get to today's picks. All right, coming hot with today's lock of the day. Let's head to the 6-10 game. Let's head over to San Antonio. We're going to go with the Spurs and the Pacers game. Give me their lead man. Give me Tyrese Halliburton over 28.5 points and assists for Tyrese Halliburton today. Came out in game 1 and played fantastic at 26-4-7 for Tyrese Halliburton, who is the clear ball handler for that team now. No more Malcolm Brogdon, so nobody else stealing boards, nobody else stealing points, nobody else stealing assists from Tyrese Halliburton. He is the lead dog for that team, and he showed it in night 1. Tonight he's going to be taking on the San Antonio Spurs. This game is anticipated to be a very close game. Again, last year, towards the end of the year, we started to look at how Vegas is anticipating these games to be as far as scoring and as far as spreads. This game has a 2-point spread with the Pacers as the favorite, and this one also has the total at 232. So they're anticipating a lot of buckets, which a lot of those buckets will hopefully be coming for Tyrese Halliburton, as well as him finding his teammates to get wide open buckets in this one. He has played the Spurs 4 times in his career, 3 times as a King and 1 time as a Pacer. He is averaging 20 and 8 in those games, so he's averaging literally a half under his line that he needs to get today. Has hit the over in 2 of those 4 matchups. In his one game that he has played as a Pacer versus the Spurs, he did have 29 points and assists in that game. The Spurs in their first game did give up. I'm going to list Bradley Beal as the point guard for the Wizards because he's the primary ball handler for the Wizards at the guard position. He had 23 and 6 as the primary ball handler for them in that last matchup. So he had 29 points and assists. So I'm anticipating Tyrese Halliburton to as well have a successful game. Give me Tyrese Halliburton as the lock of the day today over 28.5 points and assists. All right, staying at the 6 o'clock frame. Let's go ahead and go with Ayo Dosunmu of the Chicago Bulls taking on the Washington Wizards today. Over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And I don't think you guys can go wrong at all with this one. I originally, in my notes, I went ahead and took Ayo Dosunmu's rebounds and assists, which is at 7.5. Without Zach LaVine on the floor, in 13 games that he's played without him, he is averaging 10 rebounds and assists. He's averaging 6.4 boards and 6.4 assists and 4.4 boards. So he's averaging a well over in his 7.5 rebounds and assists total. But in game one, also took a little bit of that scoring load without Zach LaVine in that first game. Had 17, 6, and 4. So he had 27 PRA in that first game. Obviously, the primary guy is going to be DeMar DeRozan looking to get those buckets, Nikola Vucevic and stuff like that. But someone's got to account for the 20 points per game that Zach LaVine puts up, and that's going to be Ayo Dosunmu a little bit in this one. So I'm liking Ayo Dosunmu in this one. Also, a game that's anticipated to stay close on the spread. In game one, the Wizards gave up to Tyrese Halliburton 26, 4, and 7. Obviously, Halliburton is the number one scorer on his team. Ayo not as high of a score, but still gave up a lot of assists, still gave up a lot of points to that guard position. So I'm liking Ayo Dosunmu to have a big night tonight. Again, I don't think you can go wrong. Originally, I went rebounds and assists. I think he's going to hit his rebounds, assists, and his PRA. I like it all so much, I'm just going to go ahead and take the whole shebang. I'm just going to go with his PRA over 20.5. So give me Ayo Dosunmu tonight as our second pick of the day. All right, and our last play of the day is going to be coming from the big fella versus the Charlotte Hornets. Give me Zion Williamson over 24.5 points tonight. He has played the Charlotte Hornets one time in his career to this point, and he dropped 26 in that matchup in a very close game. The spread for this game is a lot higher than I probably think it should be. They've got this spread at 6.5, so they're kind of thinking that the Pelicans are going to blow out the Hornets at home, which is very interesting. When you're looking at the history between these two matched up, last year they matched up a couple of times. A 3-point game, they had one blowout, and it was when the Hornets dropped 142 points. I remember that game last year. It was 142 to 120 in that one. But that's the only blowout in very recent history. A 12-point game, an 8-point game, a 5-point game, a 6-point game, a 10-point game, a 4-point game. And that's going all the way back to 2018. It's a little bit too far. But historically, neither of these teams has really been able to blow out each other. Now, I know the Hornets are down Miles Bridges as well as LaMelo Ball. Terry Rozier did a great job as the lead guard in their last game. Kelly Oubre has been scoring the ball pretty well in replace of Miles Bridges not having him on the roster anymore. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than they probably think it will, than the books think it will be in this one. But I still liking Zion Williamson. They have no one on that team that can guard that man whatsoever. 25 in game one versus the Brooklyn Nets in a blowout. He had 25 in just 30 minutes. Again, I think this game is going to be a whole lot closer than it is. The Hornets, a guy that's kind of similar in that last matchup that they played for the Hornets in game one. They played Keldon Johnson. He had 20. And again, Keldon is not as powerful of a player as Zion is. But that forward position, they still gave up 20 to Keldon Johnson. So I've been thinking Zion Williamson can as well have just as much success. So give me Zion Williamson over 24.5 in a game I think will be much closer than people think in that Pelicans-Charlotte Hornets game. So give me that third pick of the day is Zion over 24.5 points. All right, which means it's time for our perfect four slip. An extra pick that I kind of liked that almost made the list today was Cade Cunningham over 6.5 assists. Just didn't quite make the cut today. The books have this matchup not being close between the Knicks and the Pistons. It's the biggest spread today, tied with the Jazz and the Timberwolves at 7.5. So they think that game's going to be kind of a blowout between the Pistons and the Knicks. Also, only a 2-18 total score on that game. So doesn't look like the books are anticipating that one to be close, nor a lot of buckets to be scored in that one. So decided to stay away from Cade Cunningham. And sometimes that's the best thing to do, guys, is if you don't force 5, if you're not absolutely loving 5. I loved these 3, so I'm going to just stick with these 3, put a little bit extra coin on these 3, opposed to making 2 separate slips today. So today's perfect 3 slip is the lock of the day coming in as Tyrese Halliburton over 28.5 points and assists. Then give me Zion Williamson over 24.5 points, and give me Ayo Dosunmu over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists at PRA, or as well as that rebounds and assists. I think both are going to hit. I think both are safe calls. Decided to go with the PRA, decided to go with the whole shebang, but that's going to be today's perfect 3 slip, guys. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. I don't think it's going to be realistic for me to make Monday night football videos as well as Thursday night videos as well as putting out NBA videos the same day. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think I'm going to have the time to do that. Saturdays I will, though. I will continue to do it that way where I drop a Saturday NFL pick video for the Sunday picks. I will continue to do that, but I don't think it's going to be realistic for me to try to pump out 2 videos on Thursdays and Thursdays and Mondays. I don't think it's going to be realistic. I just don't have the time and the internet capability to really do that. So I will always drop those picks on Instagram. So like I said, I can't stress enough. Follow me on Instagram. I'll always post every single slip on Instagram. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get back on track with NBA today, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.